We are on. Yeah. Thing is, let me check. Why am I rushing? Why am I rushing when I'm not even sure if everything is going on? If I'm not sure everything is going on as expected, I need to check. I need to check everything because this is very, very important. This is one, this is one of the biggest streams I'm going to do. This is one of the biggest streams I'm going to do. And I need to make sure that everybody is getting me correctly, right? Like it's only fair that everything is working on as expected. Before we continue, before we start doing, it's getting me correctly. Yeah, now that is right. Now I need to know where the chart is. Yesterday I couldn't see the chart. There's no way I was. Where are the dogs? Where are the dogs? No, give me the dogs. Give me the dogs. Give me the chart. Yep. Now you have the chart and you have the dogs and you have everything. Now, this is how we are going to do this thing because I was so prepared for this stream. I was prepared not just for this stream, like for this period, for the end of the Club World Cup to the start of preseason, to the preseason, to every transfer that we are going to make. Because, and hear me correctly, I was so sure. Last year I had my doubts, but this year I have been so sure, and I'm sure even now I have singled out that we are going to make history next season, and I want to document everything, transfers, troubles, wrangles, uh, the games, the anything, any news, because I know by the end of next season that will have made history, and everybody in future 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now will be coming back to see what happened in 2025-2026 season. And I want to be one of those guys that will be the source, the right source. Like if you need anything, if you need like, oh, in game 3 we had wrangles, in game 3 or game 4 this one did this one did that, you need to come to this channel. And now, but before we get ahead of ourselves, we are going to back to yesterday's game. I've chilled out. This is one of the games that I was watching intently, everything happening, like nothing missed me. I was glued to the screen, like from minute 1 to minute 49 or 50, to from minute 46 in second half to minute 95 to the final whistle. I was glued. Now I can remember everything. Photogenic. Is it photogenic? Photogenic is somebody who needs photographic, yeah, not photogenic, photographic. And now, again, I don't want to bore you with this but I know this is the entertaining part. We are going straight to the tactical analysis. If you have seen the topic is how Maresca outclassed Luis Enrique PSG. And in our screen, oh, it's this side. In our screen this side, you can see how, hey, why, we, don't mess this up, computer, Mr. Computer, why are you trying to mess this thing up? In our right side, I don't know if it's your left side but in our right side, you can see the lineup. This were the lineups. Like PSG came with the, of course, you'll see me pointing this side. I'm not wrong. It's because this screen, yeah, this screen is, yeah, is on my left side. So don't just feel confused. Don't just feel confused. You can see here is the badge. Down here is the Club World Cup. Just to remind anybody who is tuning in that we are the champions of the world. And if you are tuning in, you can also put the champions of the world, just to remind people. We don't want to mess with people. We just want to remind people slowly for the next four years. The next 365 days plus the other 365 days plus another 365 days, even after the World Cup. Like some will be saying, this is the club, these are the world champions when they're talking to the nations. But if you're referring to a club, we are going to be the club world champions for the next 4 years. So let's get into it. PSG came with the traditional 4-3-3. This is a original, like, how do you say it? Vintage. Is it vintage or lineup? 4-3-3. Everybody knows 4-3-3. We came from 4-4-2 to 4-3-3. And 4-3-3 usually gives any team the right balance. It has 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 attackers. It's a balanced squad. Now, with us, we also came with our pseudo 4-3-3 because we played differently when attacking and when defending. PSG were all attacking. You know, their fullbacks usually attack. Like you'll find Hakimi at the farthest or Mendes at the farthest making those crosses. But with us, we had 4-3-3. Now, I'm just explaining when we had possession, because every time from minute 1, we were always pressing. And I'll just make a quick thing before we go into detailed analysis. When we had possession, Malo Gusto formed like a pseudo winger. It was like a right wing back. Then we had Pedro Neto as a left wing back. Then we had Joao Pedro like nearly at the center, but just at the right side. And I'll tell you why that worked. Then we had Enzo nearly playing as another 10 and Cole Palmer as another 10. Then you had Reece James and Caicedo covering up. So when we had possession, we were playing like 3-4-3, but it was 3-4-2-1, something like that. But when we lost possession, again, Pedro Neto became the left wing back, something like that. Then Malo Gusto became the right wing back. Then Reece James and Caicedo are covering here. Then Cole Palmer and Enzo were covering somewhere like that. And then you had Joao Pedro there. So it was like a 5-4-1. Are we getting in? But it was a variation of those. Now, because every time you are just pressing, the PSG had most of the ball for the entire 90 minutes from first half to second half. And we were pressing. And whenever we pressed, we were going man to man. I've told you, like I was watching, it was so detailed. I was like on my lock, like everything, just seeing everything. We were going man to man. Now, our man to man was very, you'll say, different Like Pedro was somewhere between Hakimi and Doi. He was marking Hakimi, but at times he will come back and mark. Cucurella was on Doi every time, every time. Enzo was on Vitinha every time until Vitinha started moving to the right wing. After in second half, he started moving to the right wing, and even at the end of first half, because he was not getting any chance, and they figure out that there was a big problem with Beraldo. But I'll tell you why there was a big problem with Beraldo. Now Enzo was on Vitinha, Caicedo was on Neves. I've done this thing back around. Jesse James was on Ruiz. Now Pedro was on Beraldo every time. Every time Pedro was on Beraldo. Malo Gusto was on Mendes. You had Tosin covering Kelly or somewhere like that. Then you had Colwell with Dembele. Now, PSG had a person who was not man-marked, like always had space, Marquinhos. But now, here's why we won most of the games, because Marquinhos was free most of the games. But then again, he didn't have influence in our attacking side. Like, he was not making those, you'll say, through passes. He had the ball, but every time he got the ball, nobody would mark him, or nobody would. So he will just try to get the ball to Donnarumma or try to find somebody else. Now, on our side, because Marquinhos had a lot of space, we had Palmer, who had a lot of space. Nobody was marking Palmer. Now, the problem is, whenever Mendes tried to move to mark Palmer, he will free Malo Gusto, and Marquinhos will not move anywhere. Whenever Beraldo will try to get to Malo Gusto, Pedro was on him. So every time we had somebody around here, whether it was Malo Gusto on the right wing, whether it was Malo Gusto or Palmer, somebody was always free. And when that happened, it was on their side. Like, we were attacking. We had a free striker, they had a free defender, but it was on different side. So Marquinhos always tried to come and try to help Beraldo. And now we had some little space like here, like whenever on the left side, because Hakimi will come back, and then you'll find Pedro had a whole lot of space on his side. But we didn't use that wing, because I don't know, in the interviews they were talking like they wanted to use the right wing. But even in left wing, at some point, Pedro had a lot of space. Now, this is why we created those chances. This is why we freed Cole Palmer. And I'm just waiting to note if the same thing will happen when the season starts. Like, if we'll play with Palmer as a pseudo right wing, because that worked. And this game is how we played with Flamengo, but it did not work, because I don't know what happened with Flamengo. They were defending, most probably. They were defending most of the time, but it worked with PSG, because they always see themselves, they exalt themselves. They see themselves as the better team, so there's no need to defend. There's just a lot of time to work. Now, how we scored, I've told you, Cole Palmer was free. For the first goal, they were attacking us. Like, we had Tosin back, Kelly back, Colwell, Dembele. Like, the same way, the same man marking just on our side. The same thing just on our side. And you cannot. So every time we were, what you'll say, like, we were pressed to our half. again, you'll find that Cole Palmer was always free and Mendes and Gusto was always free. So in this time, whenever Sanchez got the ball, he will just make a huge cross to this side, to the right wing, where Malo Gusto was or where Palmer was. So the first goal, how we scored, is because Malo Gusto got better of Mendes and ran. And because Beraldo was covering, I think Vitinha, was it Vitinha or Beraldo? I think it was Beraldo. I'll just check. I want to check. I don't want to be wrong. Let me check. Yeah, it was Beraldo. Then Marquinhos was around there, but Pedro now had opened. Now Mendes was behind. Palmer, who was always free, was now free. Malo Gusto had moved, so closer to Donnarumma. I thought he was going to shoot, but then he tried this thing. It didn't work. Passed back where Cole Palmer is usually dangerous, and he scored. And then the same thing happened for the second goal. And then the same thing happened for the third goal. He was again free, and Pedro was just moving around. Like, it was simple. It was, I don't know how the coach will not, like PSG coach, like Luis Enrique, will not figure out, like, this is why these people are bettering us. I know in second half they tried to cover it up, and Vitinha just started moving around here, and they freed. And I think by that time we were tired already. Like a lot of the players were tired. Like Enzo was running on fumes. Pedro Neto was running on fumes. Like, they worked really hard for that win. And everybody is saying, like, how do you win? You win if you want to win. If you want to win, like, you will push yourself so much. In another day, we will come to this game and start defending. And we will concede 4 goals. This was just, as much as tactics allowed us to create spaces, allowed us to like mute or like just nullify any PSG attack. As much as all those tactics allowed us to do that, most of the times they didn't work, and we made several mistakes. It's just that, again, PSG, at some point, I don't think they expected us to come at them that quickly, that fiercely in the first 5 or 10 minutes. In the first instance, we made several mistakes, and you could see nearly around, I think, the 15th or 16th or 17th minute, Doe and Dembele it was 2 versus 1 at some point, because in a bit to man mark or to press or to man mark, I think Enzo just moved too closer to Marquinhos. And then we had somebody, I don't know if it's Malo Gusto or somebody, or he had just another person at the center. So Caicedo was marking, and then Levi Colwill started going to Neves, and Mendes crossed. Mendes beat Malo Gusto and crossed the ball, and then it landed on Due. And instead of, I think it's just the mentality. If you want to win, sometimes these chances, like that chance, you will not miss that chance. And if they had scored the first goal, then it will be a different. Of course, we'll come back and win. Like this was just written that we had to win this game. We had to win this game to save football. We had to win this game to save all these big teams. We had to win these games to save the legacy for Hello Madero, Simukai Madero, I've seen you. I've seen you. You are welcome. We are to win this game to save 2012 Barcelona legacy. We are to win this game to save just Premier League, those Ferguson Man United legacy. We are to win this game to save that Man City treble legacy. Because, hey, I don't know, like they were comparing this team to all these biggest teams in history, going back to Ajax, going back to even Chelsea, going back to, it was such an important game for us, for the football world, and for everybody who likes football, that we win this game, and we did it. So that's about it. That's about it on yesterday's game. Now we are the club. We are the club World Cup champions. We are the champions for the next 4 years. It's a good thing. We need to celebrate every day. And now that we are going to, I know we have another three weeks. 3 weeks to really stack our team up. I don't know. People that are coming in. We have Gittens who is coming in. We have who's the Palmeiras kid who's coming in. I don't know if they are going to sign anybody else, because Sanchez really showed up for that game. He made several saves which were world class. Now, at some point he retained the ball too long, and he might have made certain mistakes, especially with distribution or just staying with the ball. But I don't know if there's any good goalkeeper who we can replace him with. A lot of people had shouted the other keeper. Why are the names not coming? I'm forgetting all their names, but he went to Bournemouth. Now, if there's any keeper that we can sign right now, I don't know who can sign. I saw PSG had some problem with Donnarumma, but are we going to replace? Will he even leave PSG? He can't. And who's the other one? They were talking about Magnan, but that deal fell off. And I don't know if we can resurrect a dead deal. It's dead. Now, who's the other goalkeeper that is better than Sanchez in the world right now that we can sign? Of course, we can't sign certain goalkeepers. You can't sign Alisson. You can't sign Couture. You can't sign. You can't resign Couture. We can't sign like top 10 goalkeepers. Like Sanchez is among the top 10 goalkeepers. There were rumors about us signing, who's the Martinez. There are rumors about us signing Martinez. But again, the same problem that people are saying Sanchez has of distribution, and I think Martinez still has some problem with distribution. I know he's so good. We should send Phil McCarron. Is he better than Sanchez as a shot stopper, and is he a good distributor? Is he better than Sanchez? I haven't seen him a lot. I can't say. I'll just go and check him after this video. I'll go and check him and try to analyze if he can do the things that Sanchez is not doing. But I don't know. The keepers that we have been linked with. If I was the director right now, I don't know if I'll go to I'll not go to for Martinez, as much as he's a good goalkeeper, as much as he tries to, he does some shithousery sometimes. Is a short stopper, yes, distribution okay, I'll go and see him. I can't say I've seen him, so I'll go and check him out and see if I need to see a lot of highlights, a lot of his distribution, some of his games, like to make a better analysis. I don't just want to say no or yes before. But the keepers that we have been linked with, I wasn't sure. I was probably sure with Peter, but he can't be the first keeper. Probably will be sent to be a second keeper, because if you are going to replace Sanchez, we have to replace him with a person who we can rely on next season to win us games. Like, because I'm so sure next season we are going for the Premier League, and not just Premier League, we also have Champions League. Because everybody will expect us, now that we have beaten PSG, everybody I think will expect us to do that. And last year we were also going to do that, but things happened. And I'm so sure this year everybody is expecting us, and I've seen even the hunger in everybody eyes. So if we're going to sign a keeper, we have to sign a person that we are sure that this one is going to win us the league. Probably he should have won certain trophies wherever he is. He should have played for a team that has won trophies. So even if he's up and coming, he should be very, very distinguishable from the rest. Like, he should not be coming. I know right now we are just bolstering our squad, like trying to fit everybody in our squad and saying like you have to compete. But if we are going to replace a player right now, we have to replace a player with the person who is coming to like really compete, or coming to be our first choice, especially in the goalkeeping position and in the defending position. Again, some people are claiming that Tosin, and of course I've heard the dear Tosin, and it was not Tosin, it was Chaloba. Tosin and Chaloba, like, we can't rely on them. But we have had now four clean sheets in the Club World Cup, and even at the end of last year Premier League, we had several clean sheets. Now I think we can rely on them. But again, if we have to sign another probably defender, we have to sign a better defender. We can't sign somebody who is not undeniably coming to become the first choice. But then I'll go and see Phil McCracken. I've heard the name. I've watched, I think, one or two. I don't think I've watched a lot of, I think just highlights. I don't think I've watched like 90 minutes of Phil McCracken. I don't know, I'm not sure. But those are the positions that we need to fill. In forward, I think we are stacked. Now we have three strikers, wingers, we have enough. And Kunku, I don't think we are going to sell Kunku because he has, unless a good bid comes in. But he has been working hard, and next season, Palmer will always play as the right wing. The two experiments that Maresca made with Flamengo and PSG, I think he was just not making it to win the game. He was testing it. He was testing the waters. And I'm sure next season is going to play at the wing. And because Palmer is undroppable unless he gets injured, which is very rare. So even if we are going to buy a winger, we want somebody who knows they're going to play, to be like squad players. We are not going to buy a person who is coming like to really compete, saying that I want to get minutes. And I think that's one reason why Madueke had to flee. I'm sure if he was assured of minutes, I don't know why he was fleeing. He had to make his own judgment and realize that if Palmer will be playing in right wing, now all these other wingers, Pedro, uh, him, and I need to let me, like all these other wingers who are coming in, Gittens, uh, yeah, we have also Gittens, and we also have, who's the other kid? Do I have Estevao? We also have Estevao. All those wingers will be competing for a single position, or will be competing for the other league cups. And I think if anybody, and even Jackson, because Pedro has to play. Pedro has to play that forward, and after Pedro, we also have Delap. So Jackson again will be pushed to, yeah, Bendova. Bendova is a good CB. Bendova is a good. Ilinesak, I haven't heard of him. Hey, Ulinisak. Which team? Genatalas. Is that? Let me check that team. I am not sure if you are. No, you're just mentioning names. Are you just mentioning names or saying people we should sign? I don't know if there's a Ulinisak somewhere, anywhere. And Bendova. Bendova plays so well in the bedroom. Anyway, now the people that we have to sign, I don't think there's any person that, like, the team is stacked. The team is really, really, really stacked. Cole Palmer, Enzo, Joao Pedro. The only problem, we need to have another left back to back up Cucurella, because I think that's the only issue I see with this team. If we get another left back, because the last time it doesn't have a backup, and it will, you can't play all the games. Like, there will be too many games next season. We'll have Premier League, we'll have League Cup, we'll have FA, we'll have Champions League. He can't be the left back for these other games. And now the people, last year we had some people playing in left back who are not supposed to play in left back at some point. And then he played a lot of games. Now, if you have to take Malogusto to left back and then you play Reece James to right back, it will be another thing. But then you need just to have a natural left back to back up Kurel. Now, the people that Man City bought the only left back I thought probably we will really be like will be a replacement or a backup for Cucurella. And the other one, I don't know, Maresca fancies him. I think it's going to be. I wanted to play in center back. That's why I went to Juventus. Now, I don't think we have anybody to back up Cucurella. But we have a lot of guys can play right back. Even Chaloba at some point last year was playing at right back. And I think that's why Maresca will always do the way he always does. He will want like Malo Gusto to play in left back whenever he has to sub or whenever he has to place Cucurella to bench. Now, that's it. Any transfer that is coming around, Simukai Madero has a lot of names that he only knows himself. And you know, somebody can know whatever you're doing based on the names that you usually give. Sometimes when people are watching, are watching football, sometimes you'll end up watching other things because those things you might find them exciting. But you shouldn't sign those guys. You shouldn't sign Bendova. You shouldn't sign Julian Isaac. I'm sure even this man. This man, even you know, I was serious. I was serious with Peter File. I thought even Peter File was somebody. Now Peter File is not even a player. Who's Peter File? I need to know. Peter File is not intelligent. I thought Bendova was intelligent. Wasn't. Peter File was just a name. Like you have to have a little bit of you know panache. Even when you are trolling, like you need to troll so well that somebody like that Bendova troll was so good. Anyway, that is it. I've done like 40 minutes. That's the entire thing that you are supposed to do. If there's any transfer, I'll also be here to do them. I'll also be here to let you know. Anyway, if you have been here for the entire period, for a minute, for 2 minutes, thank you for watching. And you should subscribe.